inspect counterfeit money and things like that with the Treasury. If it's spread too thin, then we need to come together in Congress, and I think we can do that in a bipartisan way to narrow the focus of the Secret Service to protect the leaders of our country, to protect our elections by protecting our candidates. And I don't believe we have any confidence that you can do that as the leader of the FBI. I sincerely hope that we would adjourn this committee hearing and have confidence not just in the Secret Service, but in you as director of the Secret Service. But we do not.
Yeah, he probably
Taking
just fucked up.
responsibility requires a lot of things. It means providing transparency. It means answering simple questions. It means providing a specific timeline of July 13th for this committee and the American people. I mean, it's been 9 days. There were people that were demanding that we have a hearing the next day or 2 days following the shooting. And I said, no, we need to give the Secret Service ample time to be able to answer those questions. 9 days.
Maybe the cops that got removed from Uvalde moved over to the Secret Service.
We answered too many questions.
I think that explains
I don't think there was I've never said this before.
It's got to be it, right,
and I've presided over a lot of hearings. I don't think there was one question asked by anyone
that she answered
that the average American hasn't already asked at a diner or at church or at a ball game. The American people have questions. They deserve answers. Congress deserves answers. You were subpoenaed today to provide answers, and ma'am, you did not do that. So, as Ranking Member Raskin stated, he and I will be sending a letter requesting that you submit your resignation as a step toward accountability in what happened. And one of the biggest frustrations that many of us have, especially on this side of the aisle, is that there's never accountability in this administration.
That's what I was saying,
when you look at the debacles prior to July 13th, I mean, it would be hard to beat the withdrawal in Afghanistan, the debacle there, and no one was held accountable. To this day, no one has been held accountable for that. But here we have clearly video showing people notifying the police, and the police are blaming the Secret Service. The Secret Service are blaming the police. Homeland Security is blaming everybody. But at the end of the day, after this hearing and after our request for information, we don't have any answers for the American people, and we don't have that confidence that you can lead the Secret Service to restore the confidence. And again, I commend the ranking member for joining with me in the letter asking your resignation, and we certainly hope that you will take that to heart. With that and without objection, all members have 5 legislative days within which to submit materials and additional written questions for the witness, which will be forwarded to the witness. If there's no further business, without objection, the committee stands adjourned.
Well, honestly, I think that she should run for president. She's brought this country together more than Trump or Biden ever could. And she has brought everybody together in acknowledging that she's completely incompetent. She has no fucking idea what she's doing, totally dishonest, and she should resign. There it is. Unity through failure. That's right, guys.
Is this where I get the unbearable frenzy? Oh, I need you. You? I need to give this other girl the Shabriri grade. Get the seal. Wait a minute. It's not here? Where is it? Where's the shield? I'm dead. Am I? Where's the frenzied flame shield?
I ask you one more time, please, seek not the frenzied flame. As one who strives to become a lord, deny not the lives, the new births of this world. Those who would are not fit to be called lord, when the land they preside over is lifeless. Please, the Lord of Frenzied Flame is no when the land they preside over is life.
What? I can't use Moog's shackle? Yeah. Wait, did Moog's shackle open this one from up there?
Sommer mit deinen Freunden. Fallschlössli verbindet.
Wir sprechen heute mal über die Questreihe von Irina und ihrem Vater in Elden Ring und ich zeige euch jetzt mal, wo ihr das Ganze triggern könnt. Wir machen den ganzen Ablauf, ich zeige euch mal, wo das Ganze startet. Und wenn ihr auf der Map schaut, Limgrave, im südlichen Bereich, da ist so eine Brücke, wo es dann in den mittleren Teil geht und da ist ein Ort zum Rasten, ein Ort der Gnade. Und da müsst ihr hinreisen und dann ungefähr da, wo der Zeiger gerade ist, auf der rechten Seite etwas davon, wird es einen Ort geben, wo Irina sitzt. Und dann könnt ihr mit ihr sprechen und sie möchte von euch, dass ihr einen Brief zur Burg unten in den Süden bringt, und zwar zu ihrem Vater, weil er dort Ritter ist und dort stationiert ist und versucht, Angreifer von der Burg fernzuhalten und gegen sie zu kämpfen, um diese zu befreien. Und Irina hat Angst um ihren Vater und möchte, dass der befreit wird, beziehungsweise dass er zurückkommt zu ihr und nicht weiter dort kämpft. In der Burg angekommen gibt es natürlich mehrere Wege, die man gehen kann. Es gibt irgendwie 3 verschiedene Routen, wenn ich das richtig im Kopf habe, und nutzt die Zeit, erkundet alles in Ruhe, und auf einem der Türme sitzt dann der Vater auf einer Bank, irgendwie sowas in der Richtung, und dort könnt ihr dann mit ihm sprechen. Irinas Vater heißt Edgar und er erzählt euch, dass Godric ihn höchstpersönlich dazu beauftragt hat, als Kommandant dieser Burg Morn oder Schloss Morn, für die Sicherheit dieses Schlosses zu sorgen und hat ein paar Handlanger angeheuert. Und diese Handlanger, das sind sogenannte Halbmenschen, haben dann eine Revolte angezettelt, einen Putsch sozusagen. Daher gibt es dann auch einen Krieg in dieser Burg. Ihr seht dann, dass Ritter gegen diese Halbmenschen kämpfen und ihr könnt Edgar dann natürlich den Brief von Irina geben, den sie euch vorher schon gegeben hat am Anfang der Questreihe, weil sie ja ihren Vater zurückholen möchte. Und wenn ihr den Brief übergeben habt, sagt er euch dann einfach nur, nein, ich kann noch nicht gehen, schön, dass meine Tochter das möchte, aber ich habe noch Business zu tun.
I just wanna fucking know where she is. Hayeta.
Hayeta is a major NPC in Elden Ring and has an important questline that is tied to one of the game's multiple endings. Her quest involves Irina, Melina, Millicent, and unique rewards, all of which will be covered in this video. As usual, useful timestamps can be found in the video description. Now to start, Hayeta can only be found after completing Irina's quest in Weeping Peninsula. You'll find Irina southeast of the Bridge of Castle Morn. Grace through and completed Irina's questline the proper way, you can find Edgar the Revenger at the Revenger's Shack in West Liurnia, where he will drop the grave upon defeat. Once you've completed Irina's quest, head to the lake-facing cliffs in Liurnia. Just a short distance away, you'll find Hayeta. Speak with her and offer up the Shabriri grape, and she'll thank you with the as you wish gesture, and move on to her next spot once you've gone through all of her dialogue. You'll want to grab a second Shabriri grape before moving on to Hayeta's next location, and it's actually very close by. From the lake-facing cliff site of Grace, head southeast into Godric's throne room, and you'll find the grape near a spirit that is clutching their eyes. Tombstones northeast of the lake-facing cliffs, and then travel north until you reach the Liurnia Highway North site of Grace. Travel southwest along the path and you'll find Hayeta waiting by the northwest portion of the Purified Ruins.
Is there even an item worth doing this for?
easiest way to reach this location is by traveling up the east side of Liurnia until you reach the main Caria Manor Gate, Site of Grace. Then travel east.
I'm alright now, don't mind me. I've gleaned something the reason why it was a distant light. So faint it can't be seen by the with everyone's eyes together. Finally, I'm certain now. I'm certain now.
Next location, Bellum Church, until you reach the main Caria Manor Gate, Site of Grace. Then travel east and cross over a stone spire bridge, then head south up a hill to arrive at the church. Before we can progress Hayeda's quest, we'll need to get a fingerprint.
Oh. Oh.
Oh, hello. Have you ever heard of their special? I would truly love to try one. The distant light, I can't sense.
I have a huge insect in here.
Could you donate a finger? Without one, I don't know. Oh, a fingerprint grape. Tried and true. Thank you. May the blessing. Thank you. I'm sure I'll be a finger mate.
Grape. It's dropped by a hostile entity. It can and on tower and see flame permanent. Make your way through to arrive at the Church of Inhibition. Vike should invade as you approach the activate. Turn to Hayeda at the Bellum Church deep beneath. And head to the north Iranian capital.
Okay, now she's there. Wait. Where did Elden Ring go? Come on, man. Did it crash?
Wenn Rückenschmerzen deinen Tag diktieren. Voltaren Dolo Patch. Das extra dünne Schmerzpflaster lindert Schmerzen von morgens bis abends dank der kontinuierlichen Wirkstofffreisetzung. Es ist mehr als Bewegung. Es ist Ihr erstes Konzert. Voltaren. Mehr Freude an Bewegung. Dies ist ein zugelassenes Arzneimittel. Lassen Sie sich von einer Fachperson beraten und lesen Sie die Packungsbeilage.
Have you ever heard of their I would truly distant light. I can't sense peace without one.
Is someone there?
Ah, okay.
So we were talking about live services the other day and how the market is oversaturated and new ideas seem to be lacking. A lot of the live services that we're seeing pushed out just feel kind of uninspired, chasing trends. Just if
because that's what they are. That's all they're doing, is they're just trying to do the same thing that everybody else did to make money. It's not because it's a better way to serve a video game experience, it's just a better way to make money. That's the only reason.
feels like they're trying to cash in rather than
it's really
kind
annoying.
of use the genre to create something genuinely innovative and something that pushes the genre to a new level and to new heights. It all just feels iterative instead of innovative. And so that's led to a situation where there's just too many live services out there right now. And the majority of the ones that attempt to kind of get a piece of the pie and tap into this oversaturated market end up shutting down unceremoniously. I talked about how that happened to Exoprimal. I talked about how Multiverses is well on its way toward
So you're here as well, are you? I realized as we've talked, I'll be a maiden, and you go to the door ahead. After divesting yourself of your possessions, it will surely open, and the three fingers will welcome me the flame of chaos. Find purchase within you. Go to the door. It will surely open.
It's time.
The flame of chaos has nestled within you. Could you please rest your hand upon me? Burn me with the flame to make me your maiden. Oh, it burns. My eyes, they're melting. acknowledge them. The words of the three fingers. As your maiden, allow me to divine them. All that there is came from the one great. Then came fractures, and births, and souls. But the greater will made a mistake. Torment, despair, affliction, every sin, every curse, every one born of the mistake. And so, what was borrowed must be returned, melted all away with the yellow chaos flame, until all is one again. Those who gave me grace howled without words, saying they wished they were never born. Become their lord, take their torment.
The only good ending.
Their affliction, every sin, every curse, and melt it all away. As the Lord of Chaos, no more fractures. You have inherited the frenzied flame. A pity. You are no longer fit. Our journey together ends here. And remember, should you rise as the Lord of Chaos, I will kill you. As sure as night follows day, such is my duty. For allowing you the strength of runes. Goodbye, my companion. Goodbye, Torrent.
Yeah, fuck you, bitch. I did this to save you. I did this to save you. But where's the fingerprint shield? Come on, man. It's not here.
Ohne WC Frisch brauchst du einen Roboter, um deine Toilette sauber und frisch zu halten.
Aber es geht auch WC Frischer.
WC Frisch kraftaktiv. Jede Spülung aktiviert die Power, die deine Toilette rund um die Uhr sauber und frisch hält. Das muss ich haben. Teste WC Frisch.
Okay.
Yo, what's going on, guys? I'm Citadel, and you're going to be going basically a minute at the bottom of the pit, but almost the very bottom, because once you get down to here, you will then be able to go into this location where you see a ton of bodies, and you will then basically work your way around to the right, and there will be the shield to collect.
I see, okay. It's down there. That's insane how much damage this guy did. So I have this much fire resistance. Fuck. Oh, there it is. Nope.
Towards a mass decline that's going to see potentially.
I think the problem of why live service in these games, like,
so this means now I can jump
the
down?
way that this like comes into play is because a lot of the times people see a popular trend, but they're not able to. So there's like a very popular, like, I guess it's like a saying of like, how do you describe, you know, it's like three blind men describing an elephant, and they're like describing, oh, it's really big, or it's the trunk or the legs, right? And each person has a totally different view of like what the elephant is. I think that that's the problem with live service games, is that it's blind people trying to identify why a live service game is popular, and then just trying to re-emulate that and assume it's the same thing. So it was a trunk, yeah, but they're blind, right? And so they don't really understand the reason. So, like, for example, multiverses, like, why would anybody want, like, why does the community, do people really want another Smash Brothers? I feel like they don't. This isn't really, like, who asked, who wanted this? But, like, if you see the success of Smash Brothers and you see the success of live service games, if you look at this from an abstract perspective of, like, oh, okay, well, all of these things are the things that are, what do you call it? These are the things that make money, and we should do them, then yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And I think that's what the issue is. It's that a lot of these people aren't motivated by trying to create a good product. They're motivated by trying to capitalize on a trend.
It's shut down, especially for a free-to-play game. These numbers are just not enough. Then we got Skull and Bones, which didn't break 1 million players after February 22nd, 2024. I don't know what those numbers look like now, but I don't imagine this is a game that's performing particularly well. Arcane Austin had to shut down Redfall, and the studio itself was shut down by Xbox. You've got Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, which is well on its way out, and things are bad enough where they're trying to give this game away for free in the hopes that people come back, but you look at the player numbers, it's just...
It's dead. It's a dead game. Like, that's it. It's done. Like, I would, like, they delayed this game because it was so bad. I mean, come on. It's fucking dead. What do you expect?
Low triple digits, nowhere near enough to sustain this live service. You've got Foam Stars, which crashed pretty quickly and lost 95% of its player base in a short amount of time.
Because the game is just a scuffed version of Splatoon. You're not going to be able to make a shitty version of an existing game. Like, I guess you could say Stumble Guys, right? Like, that's an example of it working well. But, like, and that's the problem, is that somebody will look for the needle in the haystack and say, let's just get another needle. Like, you're not going to do that. That's not the way it works. Like, you're not just going to, randomly, yeah, okay, well, let's just let's recreate this 1 in 1,000 probability of occurring thing.
Way out for sure. Rocket Arena shut down earlier this year. You've got this shooter from Tencent called Synced, which I'd never even heard about before, but it shut down exactly a year after its launch. So on and so forth. You get the idea. And now it seems as though live services are saying, I've got one more in me, in the form of Concord, which is the PlayStation published live service. For those who don't know, PlayStation's trying to delve deep into making a bunch of live services. Too many. At one point they had 12 that they were planning to release by 2026. That number has been reduced to 6, but that's still too many. Among them is Concord, which is basically this hero shooter that is essentially Overwatch with hints of...
It's essentially Overwatch. Yep.
Destiny and Guardians of the Galaxy in terms of its aesthetic. And the game doesn't look awful by any means. It plays fine and, you know, it does the thing, but it doesn't do anything to stand out either. And that's kind of what the general consensus has been. There's one article here from Washington Post that best describes this as this being a game that's a few years too late. Maybe it would have enticed folks if
it would have never been good. It's never would have been good. Nobody would have ever wanted to play this. Look at the characters. These characters are ugly and weird. Like, who the fuck would want to be this guy? This guy looks like me. This is awful. Who the fuck would want to do that? Like, it's just these are bland, boring, like... What the fuck? Who thought this was a good idea? It's insane.
Would have released before some of the other hero shooters became standard, but now Concord is just coming in late to the party, and it's a game that nobody is really particularly interested in, and that's leading to a result that is less than ideal when you look at player numbers right now. So for those who don't know, Concord had a closed beta not too long ago, and you can see right here the numbers there are pretty paltry. But you could potentially argue, well, you have to pre-order the game to access the closed beta, and so numbers would be low, but even then...
Bullshit. If it was a good game, the people that pre-ordered it and liked it would have said to everybody else, hey, you should try this game out, it's really good. Total bullshit.
Despite this being closed beta, the numbers were so abysmal that you have to wonder how many people actually pre-order this game. But the real test lies in what is now the open beta. The numbers that we're seeing right here represented are those of the open beta. Keep in mind that Concord is going to be $40 when it launches. And so if the free trial,
if people won't play it for free, how many people do you think are going to play it if they have to spend money?
Of this game can't draw in an audience. Can you imagine this game doing any sort of major moves and making pushing a lot of units and being a financial success when it launches? So the numbers in the open beta look as follows. It peaked at a mere 2,388 players. And we are seeing the beta still run, and in that time, the 24-hour peak sits in the average of roughly like 1,500, 1,600 players. This is a minuscule number of players for a game that is this major AAA live service.
If the game releases and it has any degree of success like this, everybody in the studio is going to be fired. It's going to be shut down. That's just what's going to happen. You can't recover from something like this. This is literally like tens of millions of dollars lost. You can't, like, it's Jover. It is.
Sony is pushing significantly that is free to access right now. You know, I've seen other...
Like, if I was working there, I would start immediately looking for a new job right now. Because, like, there's no way that they're going to be able to recover the game. Because they can't change the way the characters look, because in changing the way the characters look, that's capitulating to people that are considered racist or sexist. So they can't do that. They can't change their image, and even if they do, people will think that they're fake for it. The gameplay is bad. You can't. It's dead. Like I don't think that there is any path to success.
Betas or early access periods where the game is free, and hell, I've seen even some early access periods where they charge money for it, where the numbers have been significantly higher than this, indicating that
is the game DEI heavy. Well, I think the DEI stuff is like. I think that's like the super viral part of it. That people see this and they immediately like have a negative opinion of it. It's like when you see a robot that has pronouns and like the pronouns of every character are on the character select screen. Yeah, absolutely this plays a factor. 100% it does. And I think that people are vastly understating how big of a factor it is because of how fed up people are with that stuff. They are massively fucking fed up with it. It's so fucking annoying. And you can see this all over Twitter, all over social media. It's everywhere. People are totally fed up with this. Like body type 1 and 2, get the fuck out of here. Like it's so ridiculous. But the truth is that these companies are still doing it. And if they change, they can't change because of the industry. Because the industry pushes everybody to do this. So if they change, that will end up making them the enemy. They're not going to do it. Elden Ring has type 1 and type 2, type A and B. I know it's stupid there too. It's like bad reviews push people away for it. The game needs like a masterpiece to compensate. Yeah, exactly. Why is it stupid? Who cares? A lot of people do. Enough people for the game not to be successful. I think that if this game was full of really hot anime girls that looked like Widowmaker and Mercy and Diva, I bet there would be more people playing it. I do. I think it's that simple. I think there would be a lot more people playing it.
There's some semblance of excitement, that there is some semblance of hype for the title, but in the case of Concord, I don't know if it's just a case of people not knowing that this game exists, or them knowing that it exists but being so uninterested by it that they decided to skip it. But these numbers are indicative of a game that I think will kind of be dead on arrival.
It's already
keep
dead.
in mind that Concord is going to have to compete
It's
with the
still
likes
born.
of Overwatch 2, which despite all the criticism surrounding it, it still gets tons of players that we still get.
And this is on Steam, right? I would assume that Battle.net is probably 10x this, if not more. Of course people are going to be playing Overwatch because Overwatch is a good game.
24-hour peaks in the 50-some thousand players.
And Overwatch plays better than Concord does. Like, just watching Overwatch, it plays 1,000 times better than Concord. It was a good game. What I mean is that, like, you can think that the balancing for the game is bad, but the nuts and bolts of the game, of, like, how your character interacts with things, the balance is dog shit. Maybe the game modes are dog shit. But the actual gameplay, the way that like Reaper like fucking die, and it kills everybody around him, that plays really well. You get the chain with Roadhog, that plays really well. That's what matters.
This is just Steam, by the way. We probably are seeing much greater numbers if we combine Steam numbers with the Battle.net numbers. Destiny 2 is still seeing, 80,000 players every day, 70, 80,000 roughly.
Somehow Destiny is still growing.
Somebody even highlighted the rather sad fact that Valve's unannounced game Deadlock has more players than Concord. I've never even heard about Deadlock until I looked into this news.
Names.
And yeah, looking at the numbers here, it has a bigger,
I just want to check what's up here.
all-time peak number than freaking Concord, which is a game that is a couple weeks away. It comes out later in August, and the numbers here for open beta, this is a really bad sign, ladies and gentlemen. Like, no,
it's over. It's over. Like, the people that work at this company, like, again, get the life rafts out right now. Start looking for another job. Put in your applications. Take this off of your resume as soon as you can, and pretend like it never happened. Nobody wants to play ugly characters. Yeah, exactly. It's not like it's not even a question. Like, I'm amazed. Like, it's just. I'm actually really glad this happened because it proves, again, I'm being validated, I'm being vindicated. Like, okay, great, now I'm right. There it is.
Saying itself with these kinds of numbers, and if the free access period is getting such low numbers, I don't know if the final release will see numbers that will be able to sustain Concord and not have it.
I know if it will. It won't.
Suffer the same fate as the likes of Suicide Squad killed the Justice League, or, Marvel's Avengers, you name it. And keep in mind that even if Concord gets 10 times the players at launch, it's still going to be in a dangerous all-time peak range where it might peter out and die off. Like, even if we...
Well, let's put it into perspective.
Du willst im Alltag Geld sparen? Dann fang bei deiner Ernährung an. Iss 24 mal gesund für insgesamt 85,89 €. Das sind gerade mal 3,58 €.
Oh, damn.
Die Hälfte des Gerichts in einem Teller für 3 Minuten in die Mikrowelle, Reis, Kartoffeln oder Quinoa dazu, fertig. Das ist bei uns allen das. Kaum bist du von der Arbeit oder dem Gym daheim, willst du dich am liebsten nur noch auf die Couch legen. Das Problem, du musst auch irgendwas essen. Aber Kochen ist einfach zu anstrengend. Also bestellst du wieder die Pizza für 12 €. Ist ja nicht so teuer. Aber die 12 € läppern sich. Und von den Nährwerten haben wir noch gar nicht angefangen. Mit Löwenanteil kannst du genauso bequem, aber endlich gesünder essen, ohne den halben Sonntag vorzukochen. Oder lange im Biomarkt.
I'm gonna bring out a game and nobody's gonna want to see this. Oh my god. It's actually not even on the search terms. It's all the way down here. New World is higher than Concord. Twice as many players. And that's, guys, keep in mind, that's twice as many players for a 24-hour peak. Concord, that's their all-time peak. All-time peak of 2,000. And again, having 2,000 concurrent players for a small game is really respectable in a lot of cases. But Concord is a massive marketed game that PlayStation put as a flagship product for their trade show. That is insane.
Multiply this all-time peak by 10, it's not as high as Marvel's Avengers all-time peak of 31,165 players. And Marvel's Avengers is a game that eventually petered out and died off, so if Concord can't even break past Marvel's Avengers numbers, even if you know, if it gets 10 times the players at launch, which again costs $40 compared to this free-to-access open beta, then I don't know that Concord can survive in the long term. I'm even wondering if it can reach the all-time peaks of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, which peaked at a rather abysmal 13,000.
I think it will probably peak at like maybe 20,000 people playing it at the beginning. That's what I would kind of assume. But for in a general sense, yeah, no, this game's done. It's cooked. It sucks because even PlayStation's monthly pass is releasing garbage as well. Yeah, I know.
459 players, and its kind of average player base was not particularly high throughout its lifespan, which is just not great numbers for a high AAA game.
Yeah, they're done.
I don't know that Concord is quite as high budget as Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League.
Probably not.
But it is a game that the folks at Sony and PlayStation and the studio that's working on it will have to maintain consistently. It is going to be an investment that doesn't feel like it's gonna pay itself back, and the issue lies in the fact that Concord is just kind of generic. You know, it's not that it's all bad. Again, like, it's not an awful game, and there are some good attributes to it. You know, I think visually, in terms of fidelity, there's, you know, they got some good.
It's in a world of Unreal Engine 5. The visuals in this game are not impressive in any capacity. They're just not. Like. It's like, it has decent graphics, sure, but like, who cares?
Stuff going on in terms of the graphics and some of the art style elements going on here, and the individual heroes, a lot of them do have some unique play styles and powers, and the gameplay is solid, and you know, it's not a game that feels bad to play or anything. You can have some fun with it. It's just they're games of this genre out there that are more established, that are better, that have a better player base, that are more fleshed out, that have been at it for longer and are more feature.
I think that's another big reason, is that, like, why would somebody stop playing Overwatch to play this instead? I could see why somebody might want to try this game out in a vacuum, but why would you choose to, like, for example, if somebody's selling the identical type of hot dog and one of them is $1 and the other one is $2, everybody is going to be buying the $1 hot dogs, assuming all other things are equal. So if you are an inferior, if the only purpose you serve is to be an inferior alternative to your competition, that's a pretty bad value proposition. It is. That's really bad. Concord equals
Lord help me.
Yeah.
Complete. Concord, especially for its $40 asking price, just doesn't feel like it's doing enough to stand out from the pack, or for it to just
like, look at these characters. This is so boring. This is garbage. What the fuck is this? This is trash. Like, compare this to Lucio,
it looks
Bastion,
really bad. Holy shit.
Soldier 76, Winston, and I don't know, like Pharah or Widowmaker. It's not even like in the same universe. Like, it's just garbage.
Its $40 price point when Overwatch 2 is free to play.
Yeah, that's another good point
for Concord to charge that premium price point of $40, it really has to go above and beyond to be able to compete with all the free-to-play stuff that's out there. And
watch the new Overwatch 2 hero. I'll look at it after this.
I think that's a big mistake for them to not go free-to-play with this, to charge $40 if what they have on offer is kind of what's being presented right now, which is not a whole lot compared to what other games of this genre are doing. Now, we don't know what the PlayStation numbers look like. This game is coming out on both PC.
Somebody says, do I only do hyperbole now? Let's see. What about this is a hyperbole? No, do it. It's fine. Right. Here's the thing. They are awful. And if they weren't awful, people would be playing the game. That's the truth. And there's nothing that's gonna, like, it doesn't matter, like, what, you know, little things that you ever roaches out when they get pulled up. Yeah, because you're full of shit. It's just talking shit, being annoying. Yeah, 100% chat. Yeah, it's so annoying, bro. Like, deserved. Yeah, it's like talking shit and then not even explaining it, bro. Like, you don't even have anything to say. You're just talking shit.
And PlayStation, and by some miracle, it may very well be that the level of engagement of this game on PlayStation is significantly higher. But what I usually discover...
Why would that happen?
Is that if a game is performing well on one platform, it'll perform well on the other platform as well. If people want to...
What a surprise. A sample size is indicative of performance. What a fucking miracle. Absolutely, that's true. He's completely right.
Come on, man.
That's not true, or people on Copium.
Certain game, they will play it across both platforms. You've got both audiences who will tune in and engage with the game. If you ask me, the fact that Concord is seeing such abysmal numbers during its open beta indicates to me that even on PlayStation, it's, you know, maybe has higher numbers, but...
And here's another thing, is that there's another big factor that needs to be taken into consideration.
Did he just almost
which
get torn?
is video game entropy. And that is when a game is perceived to be dead, it dies. And then when a game begins to die, that begets a faster death cycle. Because now
he almost killed
it's a dying game. So people don't want to invest time into the game anymore. So now people are leaving even faster than if the game were to just carry out its natural life cycle. Like it's the death spiral, right? And as soon as it starts spiraling, it just gets faster and faster and faster. And you saw that with New World too. That exact, yeah, New World entropy as well, right? This is what happens.
Of course.
So because
of fucking course, man.
It kills the game. Because nobody wants to play a game that has a reputation for being dead. You reckon if it was free for, like, Overwatch, it would be considered a great game? No, absolutely not. Because if it was such a great game, then you'd see people playing it whenever it was free right now, which they're not.
Not by a whole lot, not enough to make a difference in terms of its future prospects as a long-term, as a viable live service that can attract enough players and have them spend enough money for this to be a worthwhile venture. So this, I would not be shocked if Concord was dead on arrival. I would not be shocked if its initial player numbers indicated a live service that Sony and PlayStation will not want to support for more than a year, maybe 2 tops if it gets lucky. But who knows? We've seen plenty of comebacks and plot twists happen in the past, and you know, by some miracle, they can make that happen.
I don't think that they can do it because a lot of their image problem has to do with the way the characters are designed, and in changing the characters to the way that people want them to be designed, it would be betraying the ideals that are held very sacred in the gaming industry, with like not objectifying women, not having over-representation of like any, like it's like no white guys in the game in the trailer. Like this is obviously weird. And it's like, guess what? A lot of guys that play these games are probably white guys. Let's be fucking honest. So they're not going to do that. They're not going to add that. Because in doing that, they would be effectively giving credit to a group of people that are considered awful. Not white people, but the people that try to promote it. And the people that try to push that kind of stuff. And like, you know, sexualization of women and all of that. Even though that's the reason why Overwatch is popular. The reason why I bet Overwatch porn is more popular than the game is now. But the truth is that everybody knows those characters, and you have girls cosplaying these characters. Nobody's going to want to cosplay something in Concord. It's insane. It's not even a question. So, and women like ass and titties, yeah, exactly. And so like they literally can't solve the problem that is going to make a lot of people go into the game and immediately distrust its authenticity. That's really what's going to happen.
With this game, great. But, you know, as I said before, the oversaturation of this market is becoming harder and harder to deal with. The more you go in making a live service game with the mindset of like cashing in on a certain genre and a certain trend,
You'll say the problem doesn't have anything to do with representation. I think it does, actually. I think it absolutely does, because like Overwatch did a really great job of adding in a character that everybody can see themselves in. Like if you're an older 38-year-old guy and you like craft beer, Torbjorn is you. If you are a, you know, like a teenage girl, Diva. If you're a hoe, Widowmaker. You know, if you're just like a hot girl, Mercy. If you're a edgy boy, you're playing Reaper. If you like katanas and fucking swords and stuff like that and dragons, Genji, right? If you're like, you like being Legolas or an archer standing back, then you're Hanzo. Like there are so many different like archetypes that exist in Overwatch that are very, very well crafted. They're extremely well crafted. And I think that people can see themselves in the characters. Now, people might see themselves in the characters in Concord, but in a bad way, and be like, wow, she's fat just like I am. Oh God. Oh, he's ugly just like me. Ugh. Why would anybody want to play that? It's that simple. I'm a black man, I play Diva. Does that mean I'm actually a teenage girl? No, if that's what you're getting out of what I'm saying, then I really feel bad for you. But yes, absolutely having characters in a character shooter that people can see themselves in and identify as matter. Absolutely.
It's likely it is that you'll succeed.
So.
Like only a few of those kind of break through. There are only so many gamers in the world. They only have so much time and money. We keep shoving in live services into the market and hoping that all of them will garner the kind of audience that Destiny, Fortnite,
somebody said in
Apex
chat,
Legends, what
Concord has 0 on Rule 34 and Overwatch has 1,000, 130,000 plus. Numbers don't lie. And that's what matters.
Whatever Overwatch does, that's just not a viable strategy. The expectation of infinite growth is absolute.
Yeah, it is. Somebody says, do you think the game failed because of the art design of the characters? Really? I think it was a big factor. I do. Yeah. It wasn't the only reason, but it was a big factor. Absolutely.
Ridiculous and short-sighted, and the fact that even with this trend of so many live services dying off and being a huge waste of time and resources, despite all that, seeing Sony confirm, you know, initially planning 12 live services by the end of March 2026, and saying that we'll just cut that down to 6 still being a lot.
Yeah.
The fact that they're planning 6 live services from one company within the span of 2 years, like, good luck on the money you're about to throw away. Maybe one of those will pop off, and maybe that's what they're riding on.
Yeah, and you're gonna make all the money back with that.
Pops off at the level that, you know, something like Fortnite does, then it'll pay itself back 1,000-fold. So maybe that's what they're betting on, that eventually they'll hit the bullseye after investing too much money on too many live services. Maybe one of them will become the next Fortnite, the next Destiny, whatever, and pay dividends and make them a ton of money over the long term. But, you know, that's a risky proposition, and there's going to be a lot of wasted potential and a lot of likely layoffs as the devs get blamed for the failures of leadership and their mandates.
Oh yeah, they're done. Like I think this is like, with a game that's this big, to have this big of a failure, this is a studio closure level failure.
Nice.
This is a you can't do this wrong 2 times in a row level failure. It's done.
It's for the kinds of games that they want to ship instead of letting the developers cook.
That's the sad part. You could say it's sad, but they're the ones that made the game. I mean, you shouldn't have done it. This is what happens.
What they should be cooking. But I suppose only time will tell how Concord will play out. At the end of the day, we don't know for sure. My prediction is, though, that Concord will not last very long at all. Like, I've seen this trend before. I've covered enough live services to know that unless there's a major miracle or crazy comeback that happens, which is the exception, not the rule, Concord, I think, is just, it's doomed to repeat history.
It's done.
Or at the very least, that's one man's take. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts and opinions are on Concord. Have you played the game, the beta? What do you think of it? And do you think it has the potential for long-term viability? Share your thoughts in the comments below.
No.
And to be further updated on all things gaming news, reviews, and discussions, stay tuned right here on Young Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Young out.
I think that...
Welcome back. Yeah.
I think there is no way they can recover.
So we were talking about live
There is no path to success for this game. It's not going to happen. Like, I'm sorry. I'll link you guys the video. This is... I think that he's totally right. I feel like a lot of people are talking around the reasons why people don't like it. Like, for example, like the pronouns thing, etc. Because it's not something that you're supposed to talk about or you're supposed to lend any credibility to. But I think that it plays a tremendous role. Like a massive, huge, gigantic role. Especially now whenever you're looking at... Because a lot of the people that are seeing the game right now are people that are part of the online space. Like, sure, Concord and Sony will do marketing that will appeal to people that are outside of the gamer space when the game finally comes out. And those people won't have the previous messaging that shades their perspective of the game. However, until then, you're going to have mainly the way that people figure out this game and figure out about this game are people that are online talking about it. People should give them the names. What's this here? The moment they see it, they even need to mention pronouns in the game. I just fucking had it. Well, this is my perspective, is that when I see that in a video game, I don't take the I don't take the game as a authentic piece of art seriously anymore. I don't. Like, the immersion for the game is broken to me because every time I see that, it reminds me of the fact that this game is a manifestation of some worldview that the developers have. It's basically like it's propaganda. It basically is, right? It's a political message. And to me, it's like as soon as I see that, you don't have that escapism from the game anymore. And I think that, I mean, you could say every game has some sort of a message to it, but sometimes the messages are portrayed in a way that's like less patronizing and less annoying to me. So yeah. Starfield with pronouns, but who cares? The gameplay loop is why it sucked. Well, there's a lot of reasons, right? There's a ton of reasons why it could happen. But I'm just saying, like, that's one reason for me. You're in a bubble if you think the game is failing because of the pronouns thing. The game itself is just not good and it's not worth being $40. I think that at this point in the life cycle of the game, the pronouns, of course it's not failing because of the pronouns. It's failing because of like 10 different things. It's failing because of that, the bad character design, the fact that the game wasn't really very well marketed, the fact that the gameplay is pretty much just worse Overwatch. It's failing because the I don't know if it's a character design, but there's that too. It feels slow to play. You know, like for a while you had to buy the game to get into the beta. But like, you are on copium. You are on massive, massive, massive copium. If you think that a 2,000 player open beta for a game that was announced at Sony State of Play is anything less than a colossal disappointment and a massive failure. This is the kind of stuff that investors like fucking have nightmares about, and they wake up and they're like, oh god. Oh, that was investing. Oh. Jesus, okay, it was just a dream. All right, we're fine. Same thing as yesterday, right? Same fucking thing. Check out the new Overwatch hero. Yeah, I'll look at that. But it's a factor, and it definitely is, because right now, the only people that really know about Concord are the people that, like, because Sony hasn't marketed to a wide audience, really. They've only marketed towards, like, people that are invested in video game news on the internet. So you're going to have a higher proportion of those people that care about, like, more in-depth issues into the game than just, like, an average audience. That's why I said before, like, yeah, I'm sure it'll find an audience with people, you know, when it comes out with those larger, like, you know, like just the general audience, but will that general audience stay? 6-year clone of look at Steam charts for Paladins. 6-year old Overwatch clone that has hot girls. Paladins. I mean, yeah. How's that game even doing? Paladins. Yeah, I don't know anything about this game. Yeah, yeah. Even this game has more players than Concord does. It's nuts, man. Epic, wasn't it? Yeah, even that does. That's 5,000 people. Doesn't rely on Wi-Fi's. Pronoun sex of the character, that alone makes me not want to play the game. They hate their audience. Yeah, I think that's the way a lot of people see it. And I think that also, like, that won't really be as true as the game reaches a larger and larger audience because people won't care about it as much. But at this point in the life cycle of the game, then yes, it does matter a lot. Absolutely it does. It's a big factor.
While you enjoy being pampered, we focus on environmental wellness. While you sink deeper into relaxation, we ensure the environment stays afloat. While your thoughts roam freely, we source the best local ingredients for you. Because sustainable means you focus on enjoyment, while we focus on sustainability. Experience Switzerland the sustainable way.
Das brandneue Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6. Jetzt bei Swisscom ab nur 649 Franken. Bei Swisscom sie lohnt sich.
Vice President Kamala Harris.
She got that Cynthia haircut. I don't know what that is.
As an educator, I am so proud of the work that I do to serve our state and teach the next generation of leaders. But if it were not for the Biden-Harris administration,
Wrap it up.
I would still be obligated to student loan debt and unable to unconditionally serve the scholars I love. But thanks to the Biden-Harris administration's commitment to public service, I had almost all of my student loan debt forgiven, giving me the opportunity to serve the scholars I love without being burdened by debt. This policy has changed my life, as well as the teachers, counselors, social workers, psychologists, and many, many more with whom I serve our students in the state of Wisconsin.
Why didn't they give her the teleprompter? Why she gotta read off the page?
That is the kind of change we will be voting for when we elect Vice President Kamala Harris this November. Vice President Harris has been standing up for ordinary Americans her entire career.
This sounds like a speech from The Boys.
Prosecutor,
Like really cheap.
District Attorney, Attorney General, United States Senator, and Vice President of the United States. She has always stood for the people. As Attorney General, Vice President Harris stood up for the students who had been taken advantage of by for-profit colleges. And Vice President Harris, and as Vice President, she fought for student debt relief.
That's good. I agree with that.
I know.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's indentured servitude.
Her president of the United States, she will be fighting for us.
Yep.
And just yesterday, she won the support of the delegates needed to lead our party.
What about the voters?
And now it is my distinct honor to introduce the first woman elected Vice President of the United States and the next President of the United States. Kamala Harris.
All right, here we go. Let's get to it. Where is she? Oh. All right.
Thank you all. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon, Wisconsin.
Oh God.
All right.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Wisconsin. Cheer
Good to be
again.
back. Thank you all very much. Can we please hear it for Leah and her extraordinary story and leadership?
What story? Oh yeah, about she had the debt. Yeah.
Do God's work. They teach other people's
no,
children.
I remember.
God knows we don't pay them enough. Let's thank her.
Yeah, that'd be good if you could have. But okay, that's fine.
And it is so good to
We don't
be
pay
here
teachers enough. That's
back
true.
With so many extraordinary leaders, including my friend, the great governor of Wisconsin, Tony Evers. He's here somewhere. My dear friend, Senator Tammy Baldwin.
We have to take the money that we give to teachers and give it to Israel.
I had the privilege of serving with Tammy when I was in the United States Senate.
So they could blow up
She is always
hospitals.
fighting for the people of this state, and I know that the folks that are here are going to
That's just the way it is.
turn her to
If we don't do that, we're like the Nazis.
in November.
Hey.
Oh.
Yes, we are
Nice.
going to elect her back to Washington, D.C. It is so good to be here also with Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez, Attorney General Josh Cole, Wisconsin Secretary of State Sarah Godlewski, County Executive David Crowley.
To be fair, if this was Joe Biden, he would have already shouted out 2 people that aren't there.
And the great state
Easily.
party chair, Ben Wickler.
Yeah. 2 dead names.
I've worked with Ben. You and I
Yeah.
have been working together for years, and I can attest he knows how to build the infrastructure
Hey, Nostal.
that delivers wins up and down the ballot. Thank you, Ben.
Shout out to Putin. Yeah.
So it is good to be back in Wisconsin, and it is great to be in Milwaukee.
I will say so far, this has gone pretty well.
As many of you know, our state campaign headquarters are in this city.
Yeah, this has been pretty good so far.
There's a reason for that. The path to the White House goes through Wisconsin. Yes, it does.
She can talk? Yeah, this is going well.
And to win in Wisconsin, we are counting on you right here in Milwaukee. And you all helped us win in 2020. And in 2024, we will win again.
Yeah, this is good. This is good messaging. Yeah, whoever wrote this is smart.
So Milwaukee, I want to start by saying a few words, and I could really speak at length, but a few words.
I'm not saying that I agree with her. I'm saying it's presented in a good way. It's good communication.
It has truly been one of the greatest honors of my life to serve as Vice President.
One shot?
President Joe Biden. Joe's legacy of accomplishment over his entire career and over the past 3.5 years is unmatched in modern history. In one term, think about it, in one term as president, he has already surpassed the legacy of most presidents who served 2 terms in office.
How do you figure that? How'd you, where'd you come up with that?
We are all deeply, deeply grateful for his continuing service to our nation. And it is my great honor to have Joe Biden's endorsement in this race. So, Wisconsin, I am told as of this morning that we have earned the support of enough delegates to secure the Democratic nomination.
It's crazy how we didn't vote on that. I find that interesting.
And I am so very honored, and I pledge to you, I will spend the coming weeks continuing to unite our party so that we are ready to win in November.
To protect democracy. Yeah.
So, friends, we have 105 days until Election Day. And in that time, we've got some work to do. But we're not afraid of hard work. We like hard work, don't we? And we will win this election. Yes, we will. So as Leah told you, before I was elected vice president, before I was elected United States Senator, I was elected as Attorney General of the state of California, and I was a courtroom prosecutor before then. And in those roles, I took on perpetrators of all kinds.
Like people that smoke weed.
Predators.
And they're in jail.
Who abused women.
Fuck them.
Fraudsters.
The people that smoke weed.
Who ripped off consumers.
Yeah.
Cheaters. Who broke the rules for their own gain.
She gonna turn this into being about Trump.
So hear me when I say.
I think it's time for bubbles.
I know Donald Trump's type.
Yeah. Yeah, you knew that's what it's gonna be.
It's time for bubbles.
Yeah.
Against his any day of the week.
I wonder if they're going to have a debate. That would be good.
As Attorney General of California, I took on one of our country's largest for-profit colleges that was scamming students. Donald Trump ran a for-profit college that scammed
Trump University. Boo!
As a prosecutor, I specialized in cases involving sexual abuse. Well, Trump was found liable for committing sexual abuse.
Not so good.
As Attorney General of California, I took on the big Wall Street banks and held them accountable for fraud.
Now she's going to be like Trump did fraud.
Donald Trump was just found guilty of fraud on 34 counts.
Yeah, you know where this is going.
But let's also make no mistake, this campaign is not just about us versus Donald Trump. This campaign is about who we fight for. This is about who we fight for. Just look at how we are running our campaign. So Donald Trump is relying on support from billionaires and big corporations.
No way.
And he's trading access in exchange for campaign contributions.
You're not. Oh my.
A couple months ago, y'all saw that a couple months ago at Mar-a-Lago.
How would you say
he
this?
He literally promised big oil lobbyists he would do their bidding for $1 billion.
No, that didn't grab me.
They should show that more, if that's true.
On the other
That makes him look like a clown.
Are running a people-powered campaign.
It's true, no, but if it is true, they should be posting that.
I don't know which one is better, Latina or just the marionette
We
soldiers.
just had some breaking news. We just had the best 24 hours of grassroots fundraising in presidential campaign history.
I just can't believe that. The people that donated to her. Because I've never seen anybody actually support her.
And because we are a people-powered campaign,
That's actually a lot.
that is how you know we will be a people-first presidency. And Wisconsin, this campaign is also about two different visions for our nation. One, where we are focused on the future. The other, focused on the past. We believe in a future where every person has the opportunity not just to get by, but to get ahead.
Okay.
A future where no child has to grow up in poverty.
Nobody gonna be poor.
Where every worker
here we
has
go.
the freedom to join a union.
Everybody's in the union. That's right.
Where every person has affordable health care, affordable child care,
And how you want to do this?
I agree with that.
we believe in a future
Yeah.
where every senior can retire with dignity.
Except for...
Honestly, Elden Ring would be such a hard game without this weapon.
Say, building up the middle class will be a defining goal of my presidency. Because here's the thing we all here in Wisconsin know. When our middle class is strong, America is strong.
That doesn't look good there.
But Donald Trump wants to take our country back. He and his extreme Project 2025 agenda.
Boo, boo.
Boo,
boo. Why? He already said we weren't gonna do that. He said that 10 times.
Read it. It's 900 pages.
Nobody's gonna read
But
that.
here's the thing. When you read it, you will see Donald Trump intends to cut Social Security and Medicare. He intends to give tax breaks to billionaires and big corporations and make working families foot the bill. They intend to end the Affordable Care Act.
I agree with that, by the way.
And take us back then to a time when insurance companies had the power to deny people with pre-existing conditions.
Not a fan of it.
Remember what that was like? Children with asthma, women who survived breast cancer, grandparents with diabetes. America has tried these failed economic policies before, but we are not going back. We are not going back.
Like, I had to buy my dad an inhaler. That shit was $300.
Not going back.
That was like 6 months ago.
We are not.
Yeah.
We're not going back. And I'll tell you why we're not going back. Because ours is a fight for the future. And it is a fight for freedom. Generations of America's generations, and we have to remember this. The shoulders on which we stand, generations of Americans before us led the fight for freedom. And now, Wisconsin, the baton is in our hands. who believe in the sacred freedom to vote will make sure every American has the ability to cast their ballot and have it counted. We who believe that every person in our nation who should have the freedom to live safe from the terror of gun violence will finally pass red flag laws, universal background checks, and an assault weapons ban.
Wait. I can't buy Summer 5?
Yeah, half of this stuff I agree with.
We who believe in reproductive freedom
Oh, this is about abortions.
will stop Donald Trump's extreme abortion bans because we trust women
He did an
to
abortion
make
ban?
decisions about their own body.
When did Trump do an abortion
and
ban?
not have their government tell them what to do.
That was
By
after
the way, I
Trump.
agree with that. What she said completely. I completely agree with that.
Abortion ban was after Trump.
And when Congress passes a law to restore reproductive freedoms as President of the United States, I will sign it into law. So, Wisconsin, ultimately in this election, we each face a question. What kind of country do we want to live in? A country and to your point, do we want to live in a country of freedom, compassion, and rule of law? Or a country of chaos, fear, and hate? And here's the beauty of this moment. We each have the power to answer that question. The power is with the people. We each have the power to answer that question. And in the next 105 days, then we have work to do. We have doors to knock on, we have phone calls to make, we have voters to register, and we have an election to win. So, Wisconsin, today I ask you, are you ready to get to work? Do we believe in freedom? Do we believe in opportunity? Do we believe in the promise of America? And are we ready to fight for it? And when we fight, we win. God bless you. God bless the United States of America.
That's it? I'm gonna be honest, I think she cooked with this one. I think this was really good. It is. This was a really good, this is a really good speech. She did a great job. Like, you might disagree with what she said, but I think that it's important to separate two different things. It's about, like, kind of, like, there's a lot of things that she said that I disagree with, right? Like, for example, like the Affordable Care, I'm not a fan of it. But other stuff I did agree with, but I think that the messaging and everything was really good. I unironically think that it was well done. And I think that one thing that's kind of shocking about this is it kind of goes to show how much of a joke Joe Biden was, right? Like, how much of a complete joke it was. That's nuts. Yeah, the Affordable Care Act wasn't enough. Yeah. How do you like the lies she tells? Yeah, but like, what I'm saying is that, again, it's two different things. Like, she was saying bullshit like, oh, we care about, like, oh, it's a fight for democracy and, you know, every vote counts. Well, who voted for you, right, to be the nominee? Oh, that's right, nobody. So, like, I think that that's, like, kind of problematic to bring this up. Like, yeah, for sure, you shouldn't have said that. And like, I'm not saying that I'm agreeing with what she's saying entirely, but I think that the communication here, the way that it was done was very good. I think it's naive and it's delusional to say that this was not good messaging. It clearly was good messaging. She came on. There were no like big fuck ups. There was nothing really wrong. Yeah, there was the like Project 2025, but that's what a lot of people think that's real. They can listen to Trump say it's not real 50 times. They're gonna say, damn, why is Trump gonna do it? It's real. Like, that's it. So yeah, by that standard, yeah, no, it was pretty good. The bar was low. Yeah, you can say the bar was low, but the bar, like, she was above the bar. She was. So that's the way I see it. Some people saying DEI president in your chat, it's a little racist. Well, didn't Biden literally say that he was going to pick somebody who was a woman and non-white whenever he was picking his vice president? I mean, he literally fucking said that, right? It's not like this is a secret.
That's pretty
racist. He said it in his own words. It's not like this is some kind of crazy, you know, like conspiracy here. And so, but like, that's not really what we're talking about. The point is that, like, I think with her, is she not even black? No, she's not. She's like Indian and like from India and it was Jamaica, something like that. I forgot what the other one was. But yeah, Jamaica. Yeah. And so it's she's black, dude. Jamaica's black. I understand that, but I think that whenever people say about like being black, it's like they're talking about like the African American lived experience, which is like I think kind of perceived as different than like the experience of black people in other countries. Like, that's kind of what the implication is. And, like, I mean, again, I'm not the gatekeeper here, all right? I don't know if you can tell, but I'm not the gatekeeper here. I'm just saying this is what people have said. So, yeah. Should not black child, what the fuck should black one? I mean, I think that it's obviously, it's not my decision, right? Like, I don't, that's up to black people to figure out, okay? Like, that's not my issue. Right? If you think she's black, she's black. If not, you're not. This is not my argument. I'm not gonna debate this. Like, what the fuck? Like, we're gonna have a bunch of white people arguing with each other if like black people should say that she's black. Like, what the fuck are you doing, right? And also, it doesn't really matter to begin with. So that's the way I see it.
In this video, I'm going to show you how you can get somber smithing stone number 5.
Well, we're going to get past it. Performance is now being more important than human-like conversation and honesty.
Right at the northern side of the map here in the snowy region. So zooming in over here, this is where we need to be right over here.
People should take this
seriously. That is because we'll find a bell bearing on this guy lying outside of the church right here, just waiting for you to loot him. Do be careful though, because there is a dragon in the area just behind you. Once you pick up the bell bearing, you can fast travel to the round table hold.
I did. I thought this was going to go way worse. This was way better than what I had
and then you'll see in their purchase option, you will now be able to purchase Somber Smithing Stone number 5 and Somber Smithing Stone number 6. And that's how you do it.
You're right that like she's doing well and she's talking like this because she's on a script. Absolutely. But I'm still saying that's what's happening. I think that one thing that hurts a lot of the
that is because
a lot of this messaging though.
That is because we'll find a bell. That is
one
because
thing that hurts a lot of this messaging is the fact that, like, you know, she's been vice president for 4 years. Biden's been president for 4 years, basically. And a lot of this stuff hasn't really happened, right? Some of it has, some of it hasn't. And so the fact she wasn't elected, yeah, I think that that's like that's kind of a really big, because I think that's the reason why people didn't vote for Trump again. Is like, I think that people didn't vote for Trump because like Trump ran on a lot of like super tangible things, like build the wall, put Hillary in jail, make Mexico pay for the wall. And so like you run on things that are like super tangible, and then like re-election comes around and then it doesn't happen. And people are like, well, where's the wall, right? Because like, yeah, they built a bit of a wall, right? There were some parts of the wall, but like not really. And so I think that really that's one of the weakest things is like you can't run on like a position of like, yeah, everything's gonna change because you've been in power and things haven't changed. You know, I think that's it. He didn't do shit. No, I don't think he did shit either, to be honest with you. Like, I agree with you. That's why I didn't vote for him in 2020. Social media reform was a huge thing of his. He didn't do it. Then he got shot by the enemy he swore to defeat. Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, he said he's gonna do something, he didn't do it. And so I think that's why a lot of people didn't vote for Trump in 2020. I think that's a big factor. Like, I know some people might be upset about that, but I think that's a huge reason why people didn't vote for him. Because, like, at the end of the day, where's the fucking wall? Where's the wall? No, really, if you honestly think that, like, that wasn't a factor, you are insane. You're insane. Blocked by Congress? People not going to see, they're not going to, like... You gotta understand, people gonna go to the ballot box in November and they're gonna say, where's Joe Biden? They fucking stupid. You think they're gonna understand the nuances of passing a law? Nah, they're gonna look and be like, where's the wall? I don't see it. Well, I didn't. They fucking scammed me. Where's the fucking wall? That's it. People believe, yeah, this speech changed it. No, this was a good speech. It was a good speech she did, and I honestly think it did very well. It was much better than I had expected, and to be honest with you, I think it's exactly what she needed. It is. It is 100% what she needed. Like, she needs to have a lot more of these too. She's already polling very well. It's only been 2 days since announcement. It's hard to say, right? I think a lot of people are obviously just like very anti-Trump. I still don't really think she's going to win. I feel like Trump is going to win, realistically. But I think that it will be closer. Like, if she keeps doing speeches like this and keeps performing well like this, I could see it becoming a lot closer than what it was. Trump's going to win? Yeah, I think Trump's going to win. Give it some time? Yeah, I think so. There's no independent in this run. Independent never really matters, you know? One debate can ruin Trump. Yeah, it can, but it could also ruin her, right? I mean, debates can make anybody look back. She'll get picked apart. Too many skeletons in her closet from her days as an attorney general. Same stuff Tulsi Gabbard destroyed in her last time. Oh, yeah. Let me see if I think I could find that, right? Somewhere. Yeah, there's a post about that. This was kind of crazy to see. Yeah, look at this. Look, real quick. This is back in the day.
I want to bring the conversation back to the broken crypto.
God, why is this such a piece of shit?
Is disproportionately negatively impacting black and brown people all across this country today. Senator Harris says she's proud of her record as a prosecutor and that she'll be a prosecutor president, but I'm deeply concerned about this record. There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. She blocked evidence.
That's crazy.
She blocked evidence that would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place. That impacts poor people in the worst kind of way.
Thank you, Congresswoman. Senator Harris.
I want to bring the...
Yeah, so, I mean, I do agree with you. I think that people are going to pull out a bunch of skeletons and, you know, they're going to bring this shit up and it is not going to look good at all. So, yeah. There should be a Trump ad? No, I mean, it definitely should be. Yeah, Trump or apart. Yeah, I feel like that's a... Like, because to me... I hear that and I'm like, bro, get the fuck out of here. Like, putting people in jail for weed. Like, get the fuck, like, this is a joke, man. Not as bad as an insurrection. It's definitely like
the justice system that is...
Oh!
I feel like this is my perspective, is that the insurrection...
Dude, there's a lot of damage,
the validity of that is diminished when she is the Democratic nominee without a vote. Like, how can you be fighting for democracy when she is the one who's on the ticket and nobody voted for that? And in fact, inside of this event, the 2020, the election, like, she was, what do you call it? She was like 1-2%. Like, that's it. Nobody would have voted either? Yeah, exactly. Because they're full of shit. Yeah, so I think that, like, you really... I don't think that they can push January 6th as much now. I don't think that they can. I'll be totally real. I feel like now it's like... Because it's so obvious, right? Why? What do you mean, why? Did you vote for her to be the Democratic nominee? No, you didn't. No, you fucking didn't. There it is. It's not even a question. Biden won. The delegates did? Yeah, but you don't get to say the delegates voted, not you, and then talk about democracy. Like, I mean, I feel like I'm taking crazy pills here. Get the fuck out of here. Like, no, bro, like, yeah, I'm sorry, but, like, it's right in front of you. Like, this is the type of fucking gaslighting shit. No, absolutely fucking not. Did people vote for it? Yes or no? Answer's no. So yes, and yeah, they voted for Biden for president, so that means that they voted for her for also being... No, bro, like, that's not the way it works. Absolutely not. The DNC chose Biden. Yeah, we aren't full democracy anyway. We're a republic. Yeah, but there are instances where it becomes more and less evident that we're not a democracy, and I think that this is one of those instances, okay? Let's be fucking honest. So, yeah.
There was a spirit spring. What the fuck, dude? Oh.
Do you remember what I said before about how Dr. Disrespect wasn't a very good decision maker? There are other people on the internet that are also, in my opinion, not very good decision makers. So, Boogie's deleted a day's worth of incriminating tweets regarding his fatty token scandal. Luckily, I archived everything, so since he's trying to hide what he did, I drop on it. Mr. Medicare, that is a crazy name. Jim is still around. Oh my god. I haven't seen one of his videos in a while, but oh my god, yeah, this guy's been around forever. Anyway, so, massive stream today, which Boogie poorly replied. Here is him using his cancer as a shield for criticism, openly admitting that he promoted a shit coin scam to pay for the weight loss medication. To answer some of what Medicare has to say, yes, I have cancer, and my specific type of cancer really needs you to lose weight if you want to survive it. My doctor prescribed me Zepbound to get it done, my chances of avoiding a stroke or heart attack, but it still shouldn't be about that. He continues in the comments to admit that he promoted his scheme to pay for medical bills. He repeatedly suggested he did it to foster community and to give people a toy to play with. And yes, the entire reason I did the silly crypto bit was to be able to pay for that, blood tests, a colonoscopy, and a blood density test. Probably not something I should type. LOL about though. Not a very good decision maker. All we had to do was not say anything. He admits Medicare's criticism is correct and claims that he told his dev team to burn his 2% overall stake in the crypto. He then says, hold for proof, but went on to delete all his tweets within the next few hours. There still obviously is no sold proof and won't be. Fuck it, Medicare is right. I just told my dev team to burn my entire holding of crypto. Hold for proof. You know what the best thing about this is? Is knowing that there's gonna be a CoffeeZilla video about this. Like, I just, like, you already know what's gonna happen. Like, I can see the fucking future, man. They're already, oh my, oh god. What are you just doing today? Jesus. This is crazy. Despite initially telling CoffeeZilla he had a $2 stake in fatty tokens he didn't have access to, and they were nothing good for him. He admits there were scenarios in which he would sell his stake. He went on to later burn his stake. I would never sell my 2% unless the idiots want to be broke, so it goes to 1 million market cap. Then and only then. Until then, I hold until 0. Why would anybody put money in, like, I mean, okay, so here's the thing. If you are putting money into a crypto coin promoted by Boogie, I'm sorry, but I don't feel bad for you if you lose your money. Like, it's just, why? It's like you get into a car and you look and see, like, you know, you get an Uber, and the Uber driver, you know, like, he turns around and it's an orangutan. It's not a person, it's just a monkey. And you let the Uber driver drive you somewhere and they get in a wreck. At a certain point, there has to be some degree of accountability Why did you get in a car with a monkey driving it? I'm just saying. Why did you do this? Why would you do this? It's crazy. Watch CoffeeZilla interview him? Oh God, I don't even know if I'm ready for that. This is amazing. Because for TikTok, yes, this is unbelievable. Okay, it gets even better. Boogie continues to claim the commentary community pretends to not see the joke. I see the joke. I think it's fucking hilarious. I see it. I think it's funny. It's funny that people would even put any money into this in the first place. That's what's funny to me. It's hilarious. I can't even believe it. How is this happening? Oh my God. Plenty some says yes. Even though every single post he made was overwhelmingly flooded with negative and critical tweets, they got the joke. Why are they deleting the tweets? See, this guy gets the joke. I think most people do. It's wild seeing the commentary community pretend that they don't. I lost thousands to crypto, but mine is legit. Trust me, I need it. Please buy it. And this is a video here. We just burned 50 million fatty tokens. If you're holding, going broke just got harder. Boogie claims that his dev team burned 50 million. In his video, which coincidentally is also deleted, Boogie also claims the value of your tokens has gone up. And so this is a graph. So CoffeeZilla made a post about this. Boogie is still trying to shill his coin. It's doing better than it has in days. So this is the video, this is the picture that Boogie showed for how well his coin is doing. You know what? For a misrepresentation this extreme, I think Boogie should look for a job at CNN. Yeah, go work for the mainstream media. You've missed your opportunity. I think this guy's got a great career ahead of him. Oh my God. Yeah, bro, he could be running the company in 5 years. with this kind of, what is it, ambition.